Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to Rock and Roll True Stories. And if you guys tuned in at 10 a.m. Eastern this morning, you would have seen my true story I did about Mark Bolan of the great band T-Rex. And they were one of the bands who was nominated for induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next year. But we've got some other Rock Hall news. So with fan voting already happening, we've got some early results in, and it looks like Soundgarden and Judas Priest are amongst the early leaders in the Rock Hall fan vote. So at press time, Pat Benetar was leading the way with over 154,000 votes, and should be followed by the Doobie Brothers at 139,000, as well as Soundgarden at 131,000. From there, Depeche Mode comes in with 117, and Judas Priest gets the last spot with 113,000. Now, Priest is also competing for the fifth spot with Dave Matthews Band and Whitney Houston. But there's also a number of other harder edge acts that are still, gunning for that number 5 spot. So Motorhead sits at the 8th spot with fan voting with 98,000 votes, while 9 Inch Nails has collected 95,000 votes, and Thin Lizzy is at 93,800 votes. So if you guys want to see the current voting standings as they're tallied and updated every 60 seconds, I've linked to it down below. At the time of recording this, there's been almost 1.5 million votes cast, and fans basically can log in to vote with their voting capped at 1 ballot per day. So the voting will conclude on January 10th with the results and the induction class announced soon after. And the actual ceremony will take place on May 2nd, 2020 at the Cleveland Public Hall. Now, if you guys ever follow it, you know that they typically have it held in May, and then it takes about a month before it shows up on HBO or on YouTube for them to, edit it down, cut it down, and then actually have it on HBO for people to actually watch it. And then we've also got some other news related to Motorhead at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as well. So concerning Motorhead, this is probably the biggest news that came out of the whole Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination announcement last week, or the second biggest news. So when they initially announced the bands, a lot of people were really happy to finally see Motorhead getting their due. But there was one thing that was missing from their announcement. So the Rock Hall had only cited the lineup of Lemmy, Eddie Clark, and Phil Taylor for induction. And there was also a huge backlash when people didn't see guitarist Phil Campbell and drummer Mickey D being included in the nomination. So it looks like the Rock Hall has actually added them to the Motorhead nomination following the fan backlash. But if you guys have followed the Rock Hall, they don't always induct every single member of a band's history. But it was kind of strange that they omitted the 2 long-standing Motorhead members, and a lot of fans took notice. So they rectified that error, and in a social media post, Motorhead revealed that the 2 living members of the group have been added to the ballot for induction along with the initial trio, and their post reads, "Thanks to everyone who spoke up loudly. Thanks to the Rock Hall 2020 for listening and adding Phil and Mickey. All for one and one for all. #Motorhead." So the band is also encouraging their fans to take part in the Rock Hall fan vote, which can be found at the link below. And the band currently sits at 8th in fan voting, and the top 5 fan voted selections being included on a special fan ballot that will join the other voting members' ballots. So voting continues through January 10th, and we'll have to wait and see who gets inducted this year. I think Motorhead's way overdue. I'm surprised it didn't happen earlier, but there's still a lot of other great acts who haven't been inducted. And I think at the end of the day, the Rock Hall is a joke, and I don't think I've ever run into anybody who said the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a legitimate organization. Everybody seems to share the same opinion that it's a joke, and the bands who should be in there are not in the Rock Hall. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, guys. And who do you think is going to be inducted next year into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Let me know in the comment section. Make sure you guys tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern for another Rock and Roll True Story. And since you guys stayed here long enough, I will let you know that we're going to be doing a video on No Doubt's album Tragic Kingdom tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one, and we'll see you tomorrow morning.